this range.
Still pissed?
Yeah, but I do have to kill you. Part of the job, you know.
Getting sloppy. Looking good, though.
You've got a GDI commando in your hold. He's armed and extremely dangerous.
This is Black Widow. Do not engage GDI commando.
Black Widow? They eat their mates.
Perfect.
Yep, she's pissed. Real pissed.
Hello and welcome back, Commandos. I have to say, does anybody else get the vibe that this is like a Mission Impossible story?
Coming for you. Alec, nice landing. We'll need info on the scientist's whereabouts. Find the Nod Communication Center and download the information. What a day.
This is GDI Gunboat Captain So-and-so, calling any available GDI units to the beachhead area. We got heavy resistance requesting backup.
Let's just be clear, we're the ones who parachuted onto this island, and apparently GDI thinks there are more units here? In any case, it's nice to see that Command & Conquer gets its own beach invasion mission. At least better than the first mission.
Nice work, Commando.
Enemy
I'm
structure
making my way around
destroyed.
the island now.
As I've previously mentioned, it's a shame that some of the various objectives that we come across don't really have that much of a tangible effect on the rest of the missions that we play. If anything, this particular objective that we cleared with regards to the turret on the beachhead actually makes it so that another objective is necessary.
For snipers.
And as always, with units spawning behind us, you sometimes have to be careful not to get trapped.
Something's wrong. Check in.
So there is a little bit of stealth in this game. The AI is not super smart in certain circumstances, so you can kind of just walk and use your pistol, even if it's a unit that's been killed right in front of them. The problem though is that the pistol is the only weapon that's suppressed. So in order to do anything quietly, you have only one option. And while it's nice that the pistol has infinite ammo, it's not exactly the best option out there. Also, to those who are asking, yes, the armor bar is essentially just a second life bar. I'll show it off every once in a while, just because. Nick has a bunch of different outfits, which is nice that the developers actually included that. It's probably only included because of the multiplayer aspect, and the third person, of course, but nice nonetheless.
Consider it done.
There's something about shooting in third person that's a little off in this game, but I'm not sure how to really pinpoint it. It's like as if the shooting angle was off by a small amount. And it's not because of the camera being, you know, where it is. You know, there were comparisons to Halo, and I really feel like this is a map that not really shows that Renegade is better, because it's, you know, sadly it's not. But I feel like it's similar enough. If anybody remembers the control room mission, it's like the second one or whatever, or not second one. It's like third one or whatever when you're on the island. It's got a very similar feeling to this. It's just that movement is slower because you lack vehicles, at least so far anyways. And you don't really have that same sort of feeling of having allies nearby.
Destroyed.
Also, when, you know, when Covenant units spawn in or show up, it's not directly behind you.
Reinforcements.
It's usually not that much of a pain in the ass. I have no clue what that laugh is from, by the way. It just happened. I think it happens like 2-3 more times in the in my playthroughs. So clearing out the SAM sites gets you, you know, a couple of reinforcements, but because Nod just keeps respawning, it's not really all that helpful. Also, for whatever reason, there's an infantry here really desperate on taking out a turret himself. We also get to see Viceroids. It's still Viceroids. And C4 seems to be pretty effective at clearing him out. Now, it may look like a shortcut, but there's actually no real reason to go up that way. We'll see shortly what exactly I mean. Also, seeing the gunboat in the distance kind of gives me a Battlefield vibe. Back when you were still able to have boats like that on the map and be actually used by non-AI people.
Warning. Health level critical.
Commando, you still around? We've got more SAM sites behind that short defense cannon. That thing has to be removed, or I'm going down.
So yeah, you can go through the back way, but it's essentially going to kill you.
SAM site destroyed. SAM site destroyed.
And getting too close just damages you, and yeah. There's no real good way to determine how close you are to Tiberium either. You just kind of have to pray that your movement doesn't get you that extra centimeter into its field. And since we haven't come across any sort of anti-Tiberium shoe or pant legs, unfortunately we're still susceptible. I have to say, I appreciate that this game allows you to basically use the sniper as an op and get one-hit kills anywhere on a body. And for whatever reason, there's this little path, you get some C4, some armor, and health, and it essentially just overlooks the other path you could take. There's no real reason for them to put 2 pieces of armor either. They could have just put a full set. Essentially, you get the same effect, just less things on the map.
That short defense cannon. That thing has to be removed, or I'm going down.
SAM site destroyed. Site destroyed.
We're going down if that short defense cannon isn't taken care of.
So, unfortunately, you can't actually take out the short defense gun. You have to take out the SAM sites for an Orca to come in, and then the Orca shoots the turret, and then the turret blows up. And because the game, or at least the audio logs, makes it sound like the gunboat actually did go down, or will go down shortly, there's no way to shorten that period. Thankfully, it didn't blow up in this this trial. I have to say, it's nice to see that despite the geography that we're on, going up and down hills and so on, the buildings in this game are actually tall enough that you can see over the landscape. Also, if it's ever been confusing to some watchers, the only times you can ever go off of ledges or cliffs or whatnot is if you happen to be falling into another traversable terrain. So, unfortunately, there are no pits that you can kill yourself in, or at least not unless there's Tiberium or some other thing down there.
Warning. Localized radar jamming detected.
Also, I hear somebody up there, but I can't see him yet. And somehow I can't jump over whatever this is.
Looks like you're
Reinforcements
approaching the
are en
communications
route.
center now. Keep an eye out.
Affirmative.
In case it was never clear as well, there is a maximum limit to range on some weapons. That's why I couldn't see or target the far unit there next to the refinery.
You are quite the pest, GDI. Let me see. Captain Parker. Codename Havoc. How cliche.
Is it cliche, though? Also, welcome to the bane of any interior building.
Store
Look, I'm having a tough
requires
time
level 1
finding a security card.
clearance.
Check inside the Tiberium refinery. I'm picking up officer communications from there.
And no, I don't mean the confusing layouts at times. It's more the defensive ceiling guns. They're just a pain in the ass to deal with. Already enough in this game, you have to be rather accurate with where you shoot in order to deal damage or get the bonus damage. But on top of that, ceiling guns are just very small and have tiny hitboxes. The only way to take them out efficiently as well, just because of their armor type or whatever, is essentially going to be anything that's good against buildings. So bullets won't do too much. Flamethrowers require you to get quite close and be rather vulnerable, so the only option you truly have is either C4, but that's even worse than flamethrowers, or the rocket launcher. So if you find yourself having to assault enemy bases, you might want to prepare a little bit.
In the communication center.
This door requires level 2 security clearance.
This is also one of those annoying sequences where you have to get a keycard to go into a different place with another keycard so that you can get the keycard there to open other things, and so on. Also, for anybody who says that it needs to take a specific amount of time in front of an elevator, not true. You have to hit E. You have to activate that one pad at the top of the elevator. Now, whether or not that's an issue with being on modern systems or something, I'm not quite sure why the elevators act the way they do, but you absolutely need to call quote-unquote elevators for that to work. And this is essentially the path that we didn't take earlier. So if you don't go into the underground path to take the little platform elevator, you go through that gate.
This door requires level 2 security clearance.
And sadly, I keep trying to, I guess, sequence break this. And because waiting for the elevator would be just a little bit too slow to my liking, we have to go back in. The long way.
You're getting closer to the mainframe. It should be downstairs on your left.
It always strikes me as weird that the infantry, the basic infantry for NOD, have the automatic rifle, which I assume is attributed to GDI, whereas only the NOD officers carry the chain gun.
I know it's your job, but do you absolutely have to...
Also, hey, our mini-map's back.
Trying hard to get, Nicky.
I'm not sure if Havoc has a line there and I just like overrode it with the reload, but also, you know, rockets, be careful, etc., etc. This is actually the first boss fight that we're actually doing. We had Mendoza last time, but we kind of skipped him. Also totally sniped. So I can't believe we killed our girlfriend.
I'm picking up a submarine adjacent to the dockyards beyond this base facility. Find a way to get on board. Get off that island before it blows.
Warning, unstable seismic activity detected. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Now, technically speaking, there's nothing we really need down here. After all, the volcano is exploding.
I see you're keeping yourself busy.
Figured you'd want it destroyed. Just working on that promotion.
And yeah, somehow the power plant is just that important for us to destroy.
All personnel evacuate immediately.
If that wasn't enough, there's also another building we haven't destroyed yet.
You don't have much time. Get to the submarine and get off the island.
Just doing some house cleaning before I go.
That's also a lie from Locke. There's actually no time limit whatsoever.
Warning, unstable seismic activity detected.
If there's any limit whatsoever, it's that you can take damage during this sequence from falling debris, and there's certainly not enough on the map to keep you in tip-top shape. Also, we're going to see the inside of a Tiberium refinery.
Warning. Health level
Unstable
critical.
seismic activity detected. All personnel evacuate immediately.
So not only can you jam the revolving door, which kind of sucks, but also being in the main area of a Tiberium refinery does damage you. Not my best performance there.
Seismic activity detected. All personnel evacuate immediately.
You're really going to town down there. You didn't forget about our scientists.
Now, do any of those ever get you anything? Not that I know of.
Warning, unstable seismic activity detected. All personnel evacuate immediately.
I just figured if I paid money for these strategy guides, I may as well put them to some use.
Warning, unstable seismic activity detected. All personnel evacuate immediately.
There's also something to be said about not having units that, even during an eruption of a local volcano, the predicted death and destruction of everything on this island, considering how small it is, there's still troops that are just patiently waiting for Nick Havoc to show up and kill them.
Warning, unstable seismic activity detected. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Now, for those paying attention, you'll see in the cutscene in the next video. But try to pay attention as to how everything is sort of positioned here, especially the crane and the future actions of one Nick Havoc Parker.
Warning, unstable seismic activity detected.
Apparently I wasn't credited for the shore defense cannon being taken out. Welp.